Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Panther Banter Broadcast Media Podcast. I'm AJ,
I'm John.
and we're here to talk about Pixar, a movie series you all know and love, and we're going to be making a tier list of the movies that have come out so far. That we should get into explaining our tier rankings and what each tier means.
Okay, I got this. I got this one. All right. So essentially, we have 6 different tiers. All right. We have F tier, which means it is absolutely horrible. We do not recommend any of you watch it. D, it's bad but watchable. C is more watchable, I guess, but still pretty bad. B is about average. It's entertaining, but it still has its downsides. A is that it's good, little downsides, and S, really good. An awesome movie, all right?
All right. So we're going to be doing this list in order of release.
So we're going to start off with Toy Story. And AJ, do you want to start off?
Of course, of course. So I had Toy Story in B tier. I thought it was a pretty good movie, but its age does show at moments.
Yeah, I honestly have it at A tier. I mean, I can kind of see like the B tier because it was one of Pixar's first movies ever made, so the graphics were a little iffy. And looking at it to this day, it does show compared to their later graphics in their later movies. But it was the movie to start off the whole Pixar franchise, and I honestly really liked it. So, next is A Bug's Life.
I have a confession to make, AJ.
What?
You remember how before we started filming this, we said that we would watch all of these?
You did not watch it.
I couldn't make it through Bug's Life.
It was that bad for you?
It was. I have it at D tier.
I have it at A tier.
Why do you like Bug's Life?
Okay, Hopper, I like him as a villain, where Hopper gets absolutely destroyed by the baby birds. I mean, that's a gruesome Pixar death. I mean,
All right,
I think
so
it's good.
in concept, I think the movie's a decent idea. I just think that the execution is an abomination to watch.
I hear a lot of comparisons between A Bug's Life and Ants, which is like a DreamWorks movie. So
Yeah.
I need to watch Ants to figure out what that comparison is. But all right, next is Toy Story 2. What do you got that at?
I have Toy Story 2 at S tier. I think it's an S tier movie for me.
I think it's S tier as well. It's a really good movie. But kind of the fact that there's 2 different buzzes, and then the surprise villain at the end being
The
Stinky
Prospector?
Pete, yeah, Prospector Pete, and the end scene on the airplanes, fantastic.
And just the whole comparison of Buzz Lightyear to Star Wars with the Zurg, I am your father.
Yeah, as a Star Wars nerd, I like that.
Everything coming together was just very entertaining.
Next is Monsters Inc., and I'll start this one off with I'm putting it in A tier.
Really?
Yeah, what do you have it at?
I have it C tier. I'm not the hugest fan of the movie.
I think it's a good movie. Again, they got like another surprise villain. Pixar has that with a lot of their movies. Originally, it's made out that Randall would be the villain, but it turns out it was Waternoose, who actually turns out to be the villain. So, and it's got a great theme, the whole saxophone intro.
I do really like the Monsters Inc. theme. That does net at some
It is a
points.
classic theme. And I think Mike and Sully have such a great relationship, and I don't care what you think about it. Monsters Inc. was awesome for me.
Okay. I think a B tier might be more fitting for me, but I don't think it's great. I don't think it's great for like an A tier.
I think
rating.
it's a classic for me. That's why I put it at A.
Okay.
Next is Finding Nemo.
What'd you have Finding Nemo at, AJ?
I'm scared to find out what you put it at, but I put it at S tier. When I was younger, this was my favorite movie. If you asked my parents about it, they would testify that they were sick and tired of me watching it. After every time it was done, I'm like, replay it. And they were sick of it. Like, they didn't want to turn it off because I'd go into a crying fit, but if they kept it going, they'd go crazy. But it is a great movie. I really like it.
All right. I had Finding Nemo at C tier.
Explain.
I mean, it kind of feels like it doesn't go much of anywhere for a long time in the movie, you know?
What do you mean it doesn't go anywhere?
Well, because, like, yeah, they're making a journey and they're, like, Marlin and Dory are making the journey to find Nemo, but I think it's less of a journey to me, it feels like, and more of just interaction upon interaction, you know? They're just meeting people rather than exploring to try and find Nemo.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that disappointment.
Okay.
Next, we have The Incredibles.
The
You
Incredibles.
start this off now.
I had The Incredibles at A tier. I think it's a very good movie, a very solid family story, amazing villain with very good inspiration and motive, and it's just a classic. No capes.
Yeah, I also have it at A tier. Finally, another agreement. Can't remember his name. It's like
Syndrome?
Yeah, Syndrome.
This guy doesn't know his Pixar.
No, I don't know why, but Syndrome is a great villain, and his whole plan to prove that there's no reason for there to be heroes, and he's trying to prove that he's like the greatest hero of all time. Syndrome was a great character, and the whole thing of the family, disoriented family, and then they all come together in the end as one big family.
Up next is Cars. Where'd you have Cars, AJ?
I also had that at A tier.
All right, I'm trying to look for it, but I don't see where. I've got it at B tier. It's good, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything over the moon.
I like the soundtrack to it. I like the whole ending where Hicks just he runs over technically, or runs into
It was quite a good
King.
movie with the
Ending
sportsmanship.
was good, yeah. And Lightning McQueen having the deal of his life that he's always wanted, and then turning it down because he finally found friends. There's a good message in the movie, and I find it pretty entertaining in general.
All right.
Next,
So-
we have Ratatouille.
Ratatouille I had as an A tier. It's a very good movie. I
Yeah.
liked it a lot.
I also have Ratatouille at A tier. I was close. I really wanted to put Ratatouille at S tier, but I don't think it's really S tier yet.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be because it's been made
I
a
think
long
for
time
me,
ago.
for me personally, it's not an S tier. I could definitely see other people liking it that much, but I don't
Yeah,
quite.
I like it
that
because every time I watch it, it makes me hungry.
Eat
All right,
rounds.
Wally. Next is
much. Wall-E, S tier.
S tier as well.
Easily the best
Easy.
Pixar movie of all time.
Great soundtrack, great characters. Great
Amazing love
animation.
story. No further explanation needed.
right. Next, we got Up.
Up, also, I had that as an S tier.
S tier movie as well. Great soundtrack.
Ever
Great.
so slightly below Wall-E, I would say, but still
Yeah.
amazing.
Slightly below Wally. Great message, though. I mean, Carl. Is that his name, Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl had such a sad backstory. Not bad backstory. It's a great backstory, but it's sad. And the villain was awesome as well. I liked him a lot.
I definitely did like the dog army, especially with all the jobs that they had, whether it be chef, fighter pilots, all
Yeah.
those. That was very nice.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3. Where'd you have it?
I have that S tier as well.
Same. It just was such an emotional ending.
Yeah,
That
the departure of Andy and giving all the toys to Bonnie.
and a sequel to this movie was really not needed.
Lotso was a great villain. He comes on as friendly. He wishes the best for the toys, but he takes their whole message wrong, as in the toys were abandoned by Andy, because that's what happened to Lotso. He thought he was abandoned, and he got replaced. So he thought that's what happened to the toys, came on comforting to the toys, but then the toys revealed their true intentions, that they weren't supposed to be there.
Cars 2, I had that at D tier.
D tier as well. They had one great movie in Toy Story 3, and then they tried to make a sequel to Cars and it did not work out. The whole spy mission thing.
Why was it a spy movie?
Yeah, don't just keep it as a racing movie. Like it felt more like a spy movie instead of a racing movie. I need more racing.
I mean, if you wanted to make a spy movie where a hillbilly becomes a spy, make it in live action or a different animating medium other than just car people.
Yeah, like make it as
Why
like
did it have to be cars?
make it as its separate entity, not like don't put it
Exactly.
onto the Cars franchise. Just don't do that. And a lot of people like this movie, but they're all like,
Insane.
yeah, we'll say it that way. Next is Brave.
I liked Brave. It was quite nice. Where did? Okay. I think I had it at B tier.
B?
Yeah.
I had it at C tier.
Hmm.
I think the saving grace is the fact that Merida realized that she messed up by turning her mom into a bear, and that she has to try to turn her mom back into a human. So their whole story of trying to get there is really nice, but other than that, it's kind of boring. I don't really like it.
Okay.
I find it more enjoyable than Cars 3. Not Cars 3. Cars 2. But I don't think it's enjoyable as the other ones.
All right. Monsters University. Where'd you have that?
I also have that at C tier.
Same.
It is an interesting backstory.
But first off, it contradicted the first movie.
How?
Or
I don't.
it was either the first movie or a Monsters Inc. short that said that they were like best friends in 4th grade or something.
Oh.
When this movie says they met in college. And
Yeah.
it's also just completely and utterly unnecessary. The movie doesn't add anything important.
It was interesting with the scare games. And then it just kind of like died out.
Inside Out, where'd you have that?
I got that at B tier.
I have it at S. I thought it was an insanely emotional ending to the movie where sadness finally takes control and Riley just breaks down in tears and comes home. It was a lot, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not my type of movie. It's a good movie, I would say. But it's just not, like, my type of movie.
All right. The Good Dinosaur. D.
B. I like it. A lot of people do not like that movie. But the big T-Rex guy who's played by Sean Elliott, he's got a great message to Arlo that you can't run from your fears. You just got to take it head on. And in the end, that's what Arlo has to do. Take on his fears and take it head on. It's a great story of Arlo trying to not live in the past of his father's death and learn to step it up because his family needs him.
Fair enough, I suppose. Finding Dory.
I also have that at B tier.
I had it at C.
It's pretty much the same message as Finding Nemo, except we dive a little more into Dory's backstory. But I just don't think
The one
It's not
cool
as
thing about
memorable.
the one cool thing about this movie is that they were able to give a fish a receding hairline.
Oh yeah, Dory's dad. That is funny. That's the funniest part of the movie. But I mean, it's just a repeat of the first one, essentially.
Cars 3.
Ooh, where do I have that? I have that at C.
I had it at B.
It's better than Cars 2, and I think it's a nice ending for McQueen.
I liked
Where-
it. It was nice.
Yeah, but it's not a great villain in Jackson Storm. Like, I don't understand the point of Jackson Storm having a rival
It's not really
of McQueen when McQueen really had nothing.
the movie isn't really about the villain.
No.
The villain, rather than being a character, is more so an obstacle to overcome in that McQueen just needs to become faster.
And then
It's less about the character and more of the goal that is the villain, I
And then-
suppose.
But McQueen's too old to go faster, so they had Cruz come in and do that for him. So next is
Coco. I'd at B tier.
A tier.
All right.
I do not cry a lot, and when I first watched Coco, that ending made me shed a tear or two. Like, I wasn't, like, crying, like, big time, but, like, I did shed a tear. It was sad, but the music is great, and the plot was amazing as well. I was close to putting it in the S tier. I really was, but it's got a great message. I love it. It's A tier.
All right. Next up, Incredibles 2. Where'd you
You
have
didn't
that?
say where you put it.
I did. I said B.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't really paying attention. Incredibles 2.
Get a load of this guy.
Shut up. Why do you keep saying that? All right, I have Incredibles 2 at B tier.
Incredibles 2. I've also got it at B tier. Not as good as the first, I
no,
don't think.
I wouldn't
but
say as good as the first, but it was still pretty good. I mean, the difference in years between the two is insane. 14 years.
And I mean, the villain is kind of basic.
Yeah.
Her name is literally Evil Endeavor.
Yeah, that's just... It's not a great villain name. It's a basic villain
Yeah.
story arc. But the new characters are interesting. The threat, another threat of the superheroes turning against the people instead of removing the superheroes was interesting as well. But it just wasn't as executed as good as the first one.
Toy Story 4.
I have that at B tier.
I had it at D. It was an unnecessary sequel that ripped. It was a cash grab.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 was like the perfect ending for those characters.
Yeah. We did not need to go more into Bonnie.
But I mean, and at the end of the movie, when he gave his sheriff badge to Jesse, why did he give it to Jesse and not Buzz?
Because Buzz isn't a cowboy. I guess you can make the argument.
Buzz was
he's
way
a
more-
space cowboy.
Buzz was way more deserving of the sheriff badge.
Yes. Okay, next is Onward.
Onward. I had that at A tier.
B tier.
I really liked the movie.
I liked it as well. I don't really remember the ending that well.
I think the ending was one of the better parts of the movie, because
Like, I know the ending of them finally seeing their dad just for a brief moment of time.
I don't remember the names of the characters, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
call them Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I don't really remember the characters either, but it's an interesting story. Soul.
Soul.
Yeah, we'll just move on. I have that in A tier.
Oh man, did I not include Soul?
Oh my gosh, John.
Oh no, I had it at B tier.
It's a good movie. Jamie Foxx does a good job playing the main part. I mean, Jamie Foxx is an action guy, but then you put him in this, like, role where it's not really about the action, it's more about the meaning of life. And he does a good job portraying the character, and I like it.
I think it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
Nothing really over the moon, I would say, but
No, I
it
think
was
it's good.
nice.
Luca,
Luca, I had that at B tier as well.
B tier.
Probably a little bit better than Soul.
Yeah, it's a basic plot, I'd say.
But it was nice, fun, wholesome movie almost all throughout.
Yeah, it made me hungry for pasta.
It's just a good, nice experience.
Yeah.
Turning
Next
Red.
is Turning Red.
Where'd you have Turning Red?
I had that at D tier. You probably had it at F tier.
Why would I have Turning Red at F tier?
What do you have it at?
I'm pretty sure I have it at, I have it at C tier.
Oh, I did not like Turning Red. It's an interesting story, but I don't know. I didn't like the boy band. I think the boy band was kind of a killer.
So you think that's what ruined the movie?
No, it was a factor, I'd say. I did not like that final fight. I wouldn't say it's the biggest factor. I just didn't enjoy the movie when I watched it. I don't know if it was because I was dreading the all-nighter I had to pull after watching that movie. But or if it was just I just didn't like the movie. But I didn't like the movie.
Oh
It
well.
wasn't for me.
Everybody has the right to be wrong.
I think the dad carried though.
The what?
I like the dad.
He was barely in the movie.
I don't care, that cooking scene he had. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. And then they don't even bother eating his food.
Lightyear,
C tier.
I hit it at B, but the reason I don't like the movie is that the villain is completely correct.
He
because
was correct.
the decades that the people stayed on that planet, so many people must have died building up that civilization for no good reason. The villain, Zurg, Old Buzz, he wanted to go back in time to prevent ever landing on that planet so that they would just stay on course going to somewhere better.
Yeah.
That's
But-
the completely right thing to do. Prevent decades of dangerous deaths and all sorts of bad stuff.
Yeah.
I do also like the general idea of the movie of it just being a movie that exists in the Toy Story universe. I just think that idea is nice,
Yeah.
kind of cool.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this ranking.
All right. It was very interesting to see how wrong AJ's opinions are and how little he knows about Pixar.
He didn't even watch all the movies when we came up with this idea.
I tried to. I could not make it through Bug's Life.
What the heck just happened to the camera? All right, we're off. Bye.